No boyfriend either.
Bad choice in men then. That's not my fault. That's not my fault.
I'm allergic to
my
men. Nah.
And later today,
since I wouldn't father a child to her, she's trying to get me back in some way she can.
I did not want to have a family with him, and that's why I left. If I wanted to stay with him and get married and everything, I wouldn't have left
difference
him.
on perspective.
But I really don't think that matters to the case at hand anyways.
It's Joe time after this.
Please raise your right hand.
Heavy equipment operator Jacqueline McKenna is suing her ex-boyfriend for credit card charges. Defendant Michael Burns says he's paid in full.
Nominally, I think this case is about your claim that the defendant has refused to pay his credit card bills, utilities, and various misdemeanor expenses, right?
Yes, sir.
Try to enlighten me.
Well, the credit card was the big part of it. And then
Yes.
he also, there was an insurance, he has an insurance payment kind of like Aflac. It's called combined insurance, and that was going through my bank account also. So I took, basically, we had the utilities split in half anyways every month. So I took the amount that was his half and listed it all, and then added that to the credit card that he owes.
Pass me up everything you've
Yeah.
got for documentation.
And on
Now,
this, on
why did you break up with her?
I broke up with him.
Yeah, she broke up with me.
Now, I'm talking about you moved out as a roommate. What was that all about? She says it was a big blow-up.
Throughout our relationship, we had various arguments. They would end up, one yelling at the other. It came to the point where we had been separated for the year, but still living as roommates. It was going okay, but it was still to the point where she still wanted more than just being roommates, wanted still a continued relationship. Her goal in life has always been to...
Let him finish.
Her goal in life has always been to just get married and have children, have somebody to take care of her. Basically,
That used to be everybody's typical goal on the
Basically, yeah.
desktop side.
basically, what this is a classic case of a woman scorned. Since I wouldn't father a child to her, she's trying to get me back in some way she can. This is her best way.
What about, you alleged that on the day in question, she was extremely intoxicated. What
Extremely.
happened?
That night, I was already in bed. I had to work the next morning at my mother's house.
Your Honor.
So I was already in bed. She went out partying with her friends, came home drunk.
And you two were just roommates
Just
at that
roommates,
time?
yeah. Separate rooms, 3-bedroom house. She had come home drunk. Our third roommate had seen her crying at the front door, asked her what was wrong. She just ignored him, walked into my bedroom, and basically wanted sex. And when I refused and told her to get out of my room, she refused. That was our
And
relationship
that
breakup.
was an effort on that occasion to continue that design that you weren't going to be involved in. Well, I guess that's responsible. Now,
Your Honor, can I counteract that?
go ahead.
I broke up with him because he had been physical with me over and over, plenty of times, and I did not want to have a family with him, and that's why I left. If I wanted to stay with him and get married and everything, I wouldn't have left
difference
him.
on perspective.
But I really
No.
don't think that matters to the case at hand anyways.
we'll be back with more Judge Joe Brown in a moment.
I had to show him a breakdown of everything. I had to show him the bills constantly, even when we were together.
See that I got to put up with every month.
Continued to live with her ex-boyfriend after their romance was over. She says she incurred a lot of bills because of his bad credit, bills he stopped paying once he moved out. Let's take a look.
Now, what happens in September? Does he stop tendering you money?
He gave me money every 2 weeks because it changed. It went up and down every month, so we just agreed on the $600, and then I
Every
would
2
pay
weeks?
everything. Yeah,
And he paid you $600 every 2 weeks that you
Right.
two remained together.
even after we broke up.
That's right.
And I still had to sit down every month. I mean, it's not like he just gave me the money willingly and just threw it away. Like, I had to sit
Very
down.
false.
Well, you had
no.
to sit down
I
and
had-
say, ask him for it, but you got it.
Well,
so you
yeah.
got every dime that you demanded
Right,
of
but
him all the way through the breakup in November,
Right, but I
$600 every
still
2
had to
weeks.
explain it to him. I had to show him a breakdown of everything. I had to show him the bills constantly, even when we were together.
He's giving you a lump sum of money, $1,200 every 30 days, and you're the one that disperses it.
Well, $600 goes to rent no matter what. But I had to pay the regular bills every month too. Like, I don't have money.
All right, now.
I'm still trying to make it on my own.
Okay. Let's go to that. Now, you ill-advisedly made a lot of charges on here, and you had your father pick up several $1,000s worth of the charges.
My dad still doesn't. He makes me pay for it every month also.
I understand. Now, somehow or another, it jumps from $997 in a few months up to $4,000.
Right, but he has a card that has his name on it. I think I gave you a copy of that too.
This doesn't help me because both of you are still charging on this account.
But after I paid that off, all the charges were him. The only thing that says is like when I made a payment.
Look, transaction activity for this month.
And under my name, it'll have my charges. Under his name, it'll have his charges.
Yes, I know. But what I'm saying is it looks like both of you are still charging on this particular account.
No, well, on there, I wrote what month and year it was, but I haven't used that card since he left, actually. And then I started using it again after I took his balance off because the interest rate was so high.
See what I got to put up with every month?
Well,
least I
that side
did it like
farm
you.
is actually helpful because, you know, young lady,
I'm the only one
not
that pays
following
anything.
what you're trying to get to me.
Well, he ran it up pretty quick, so.
Judge Joe Brown makes his ruling after this.
At JudgeJoeBrown.com.
Now, I'm looking at the credit card history, and what happens is your father jumps in and tries to rescue you, but at that point in time, everybody's hyperextended on this credit card. You charge for a couple of more months yourself because, as you've indicated, the bill
Well, it was before he paid that
detail shows who charged what under what. What I'm going to do is I think that needs to be divided right straight down the bloody middle. So you will get an award of $1,887 to wind up the joint affairs the two of you had over the course of 4 years and your court costs. There you go.
And this court order is now in recess.
Well, the defendant in this case left all of the financial duties to the plaintiff. She worked out a payment schedule, and the defendant says he ended up owing not because he didn't pay the plaintiff, but because he rejected her. They will share that balance. We'll be right back.
Next on Judge Joe.
We're back. The defendant was painfully honest about where he says the relationship took a bad turn, and he says a rebuffed plaintiff basically got angry and wanted to get even. The plaintiff says she just wanted the bills paid. They will share the costs.
To submit your case to Judge Joe Brown,